Welcome back, everybody, here to another episode of Gregtech Community Edition Modern. Last time we did get our nitrobenzene and I guess the other was the nitrobenzene. Yep, nitrobenzene up and running. And I've actually had quite a bit of stuff in the base running, and you might end up seeing we are way up right now in fuel. That is really nice, and I'm happy with that. We are still running on benzene in some places in the base just because it hasn't processed through it yet. Oh, no. No, we actually are, so never mind. I guess this one isn't processing off of the nitrobenzene yet. Just the main one, but that kind of shows I've been running quite a bit of the machines in the base, and we've been doing just fine with how much we have energy-wise currently. I mean, the only one that I'm worried about to any extent is this one, and it looks like it's functioning still too. Because if this shuts off, we can't autocraft our advanced circuits. Not that we're making too many of those right now. I've even got through the rest of my titanium that I have in rutile form. And now, just have to get a few things set up so we can actually switch over to the base and the void. But to do that, I want two different things made. The first thing, we need to auto-craft ender pearls. Now, one of the things that's really nice, I should have enough materials for a second one of these, and then I just needed two gas turbines, which I should be able to just set it up to craft two of those. Let it do its thing. So, because we got the nitrobenzene set up, we're actually pretty well set up to do a couple of things. I think the first thing I want to do, just to make these pattern providers a little bit easier to make, is I need to set up this basic forming press to make gold chips. So first we need to make ourselves gold ingots into plates. Just do that. Do the bender. Add that recipe in. There's that. Now, to use those in a forming press, we can then make that. And the last one that we need is the silicone. And we've got this one. We can already make the wafers, so those are fine. You need to make up some more of the patterns. I think I do. I don't think the 7 is going to be enough. But we need to bring over our plate to there, hoping that we can get up to a extended version of these things pretty soon. But then we make both of those in there. Now, the last thing I want to be able to do is we need these ULV chips. ULV. These NAND chips. Which, if I do that there, looks like we would need red bolts is the only thing we need to add to that, and then we need to double the recipe as well to make 24, as I don't want any extra liquid alloy inside. Alright, so I just realized, I don't know when it happened, but I paused the recording because I typed a number and fat fingered a key in that area that paused my recording. So I'll run over what I kind of went down through. We did the NAND chip, we got the NAND chip put in there. I got a couple different things set up down here. So we have our processing pattern for our tooling into gel tooling using the sugar, polyethylene pulp, and tooling bucket, because we don't want the tooling to just automatically feed its way in here. We want it to all go in at the same time. And I did put a storage bus on the tooling up top. The nitration mixture, I do want to auto pump and basically have like a storage of that, because I don't want to have this try to catch up just to be able to start crafting it all at once. I want it to be able to craft a bunch when I want it, and then it can catch back up later. with that recipe, it just takes the tooling and the diluted and the yeah, it just takes the tooling, and then it will put the nitration mixture to make the industrial TNT. That's why it's really nice that we got this done last episode, so that we can actually make the industrial TNT, making it easier and more efficient, especially tooling wise, to make more ender pearls, so we can get item and fluid ducts to be, or item and fluid ender portal things to transfer stuff over to the void dimension. So I did set that up, and then the last thing that I started putting together, realized I was just talking to myself without recording it, was the pattern provider and an interface. Because everything needed for the crafting recipe goes into one input, we can actually put it on a pattern provider for the input, and then it will accept the output. And so if I go upstairs now, I should be able to automatically craft up that stuff. I did do it the same over here, and that's why these work. Now, if I needed it to also request a fluid, so let's say I needed it to request the nitrogen instead of just have it in there, then that's where I would need the P2P tunnels to be able to have it sort out where it needs to go so that we have everything enter the proper slots. But if we go upstairs now, I should be able to tell it to craft some ender pearls. Let's see. 3 in the system. Let us craft up, I don't know. Let's do 18. We are missing sugarcane, which I thought I grabbed some out and put in there, but I guess I didn't. That's something I probably will do off camera, making a simple sugarcane farm. We have plenty over there, so I don't mind dumping all this in the system for now. But we'll do 18. And then start it on up. Should see all of it go off. You want to see it do its thing. As it gets here. Can't be that long. Okay. Okay, there's our first batch. Tooling. And that's going to finish up, and there we go. Awesome. Now, if we go upstairs, we'll be able to open it and see that we're starting to gain some ender pearls. And there we go. We've got that auto-crafted now. So now we'll be able to auto-craft ourselves items, ender fluid links, ender item links, and it looks like redstone's the other one. So now we'll just have to get these other things processed so that we can actually get those set up to make in an auto crafter. Which means I will need one more of those vendors. I think I might have to move everything down one. Yeah, I'll have to move everything down a slot so that we can actually see that. But I need a double plate thing there. So now that's the first task that I needed done. And the fact that I missed out on a bunch of other stuff means I probably can do a little bit more. But the second gadget that I wanted to get was this. We need ourselves a builder's gadget. So let's go ahead and start the other parts auto-crafting. And then I can grab out the lapis that I prepped up earlier and chuck it in a table saw. And it has to be specifically lapis plates. Lapis plates is the only one that works for this recipe. You can't use the other ones that are kind of similar to it. is that. Lapis plates in, building gadget, and there we go. So now the only question, what do I have? I do have the battery in here. I do have to check something actually down here because I did swap some stuff out, and I'm pretty sure we're doing fine with that. I kind of checked on it. Yeah, so this is not using too much power. Now that we're through all of our charcoal, this is actually able to keep up on the HV generator. So that's good. But we're going to hopefully get this thing... Oh wow, it's already fully charged. That's crazy. I didn't expect that with a simple right click of that thing. But I can go use this in the other dimension, and I wanted to... Ooh, oh, that's right. So we can come out here now. I actually put together some of these blocks using some concrete. And I'm going to use the black stud pieces for now. But you can dye them whatever color you want. I don't really want to do different colors at the moment because dyes are a little bit expensive. Though, yeah, dyes are a little bit expensive. We'd have to get some different flowers growing or something like that to be able to get what we need. I don't know if we can actually... I guess we can bone meal rose bushes for red. I don't know if there's a way to really automate getting more dyes. So we will go ahead and lay out ourselves that, and let's get our building gadget out. It's supposed to be a way that we can change the mode. Oh, there it is. G, I think. Let me actually look at what it says. G. Yes, it is G for gadget. So we want to build ourselves a wall, vertical column, a surface. Nope. We want to build any... place on top. Ray trace fluids, grid. So if I go ahead and place it like range, let's go up to 15. Let's do horizontal. Oh, got it. Horizontal. Let's get all of our blocks out. What if I do it now? Place it right center. Oh, it changed the block. So let's do it right there. 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 And now we've got ourselves an expansive platform that we can build. Have this be like our hub. Jetpack on. Also, like that. Let's fill in that area. Go fill in there. Problem I should have dug out more first. Okay, that is scary. G, I forgot turns off your thrusters, and so I'm messing with the gadget, and I just turned off my thrusters. Ooh, that was a little bit terrifying. Just like stop breathing there for a second. Doesn't really matter if I get the concrete back, but with all this out, this will be the perfect place to start. And because with our ender fluid ducts that we're going to start auto crafting pretty soon, it will be completely able to dump items from the overworld into here. That was one thing kind of wanting to get done, because using those pipes to begin with in the overworld was a little bit of a pain, but it could be done. Now, I can build this area out nice and like skyblocky, I guess, where I can just kind of go, this corridor is going to be for this, and this corridor for that, and that for that. And rather than having to try to sculpt to the landscape like I was over here, which, don't get me wrong, this is fun, this is cool, but for a tech mod pack like this, all of this extra sculpting takes way more time, effort to get things working, looking the way you want it to look. And then you've got to try to factor in filling in pipes and machines. And you do this more readily with the ender fluid ducts, but we still have to use these at some point, as this is the item that's going to get us, or these cables are what's going to allow us to do auto crafting. So we still have to keep these cables in mind. But if we get all of the stuff shifted over, then we can eventually tug this whole system over and transfer it and do it there as well. Or we can just leave it here and let it be here and make sure that we have the resources be able to be pulled over to here as well. Considering that those things work like those ender chests from Ender Storage, I mean, why not have them in both places at once kind of deal, but build all of our new machines out in the void. Let us see if we can get the rest of... So that's for items. So the only difference is one of them needs polytetrafluoroethylene. The other one needs polyethylene. So, and those need to be done in an HV. Said yes, HV assembler. Does it need? These do not need clean rooms, so that means we can do it over in this one. You're just going to need to move some stuff out of here. So this probably come out. I don't think either of those need HV assembler. I'm going to get those two in here. Let's look at that. The void cover. Fluid void cover only needs an LV, so if we can get this in the LV assembler or the MV assembler slot. It's right here. And we can fit it in right there. That's nice. Okay. So, the first two patterns we want to make sure we have are the Ender item and the Ender fluid. Not that one. Okay. Now, clearly we need the plates. The plates is going to be the hardest part because we do not have a saw currently hooked up to make the plates. But make some more patterns first. Another 2 more of those. Oh, I didn't want to click that away, and I totally did. Recipe for that. Oh, we're gonna need Eye of Enders auto-crafted? Oh boy. On the bright side, that's also set up to be able to Ooh, we just need to get chemical bath and liquefier thing over there. So I got this. We could nudge it over. Let's pull this out. See if we can do it right in here. So we need ourselves the HV cables. 1, 2. We need our chemical bath. And that one will eject from the back. Need the blaze. So to do that, we're gonna need thought so. You're out. Chemical bath. Liquid blaze. So that can be done in an L view. Liquefier thing hooked up somewhere. That means we don't need this setup here. If we can get ourselves... Oh, it's there's one upstairs, so I can just do that right now. So pop this right there. These we needed to make in our... Let's see. I think first things first, let's get these cables out of here. And we place those with superconductors. Move our assembler up to the top corner up there, so it can actually accept recipes. This down over here. And cutter has nothing in it, so we can also move that down. Now we can attach our here. Fit the thing there, put in the recipe for those. That sets those two up. We just need to get everything else set up. So the first thing we need to check, have a basic extractor, get our blaze. We just need to put the recipe in there. I don't think we're full, so we can do that really easy. So, to get our blaze, we just say this. Put it in our extractor page. And then to get our Eye of Ender, we need to mix the two. We can take that downstairs, and then what else do we need to craft? We need to craft chromium. So the recipe for that is going to be in the extruder. And I'm just going to be doing even more of these recipe things. So let's see. That needs to just be in the blast furnace. So we can say yes. That off. Chromium. And then that should be able to be fully auto-crafted once that's all put away. And we can test that by going downstairs to do that. Put the Eye of Ender thing in here. Put the chromium is in there. We can test that out once we get upstairs, as well as make more patterns once again, because we are already out. Oh, that's right, we gotta do 5 if I want to do 8. So, now, if we say HV emitter. That is all crafted. Let's test out our HV emitter. Oh. I guess that's the one thing we don't have yet. We don't have the emitter. Now we can put that in. Looks like all the other ones are full for now, so we're good. But now we should be able to craft one of those. It says we can recognize that we have all the parts. So craft that up just to make sure it works. And get into our next piece. So the next piece that both of them need is the HV sensor. It can be done in an assembler, but if it can be done in a crafting bench, it is better for us to do that, as the assembler slots are a little bit fewer and far between right now. So that's that one done. Next one they both need is this double stainless steel plate. So we're actually going to need to make another bender. Do that, and it has to be let's just go downstairs and craft up the pieces and let it do its thing. Bender. Okay, there we go. Now it should do that. We don't want the bender. We want to now say we need to get these. So first, we've got to craft up one of these. It takes way too long in a compressor, so it's better for us to just have it crafted once again. And we can make ourselves another one of these pattern things in a minute, because we're going to need that. But now once that's done, once again we need this. So I don't think I have lubricant anywhere, so I do just want it to say that. But to make the plates, it can be in any cutter. So I think, oh, we're gonna need more pattern things, aren't we? How to pattern things? Yeah, we just have the interface. Do we ever use a block for anything else? We do not. So what I'm actually going to do, this is a little bit better, is I can grab out, let's make that bender. We have the interface that I grabbed. So there is bender there. Gonna bother me if I don't move it all over once, so I'm just gonna do it. Put the bender down. We'll put down E shooter. Down. All of those in there. And let's butter thing first. So what I plan on doing, actually, is since I can just do it this way, we're gonna grab this machine here first and move it upstairs. Where do we have a spot for? So we're gonna do this. What do we got? We have nothing in there, so let's wrench that off. Because I want it to automatically import lubricant. I guess we do have to actually do this. Be able to get the items back. Export lubricant in there. I know we don't have any in the system, so we just have to put that in there for now. But then with the interface, I can say any blocks will automatically go in there. And then allow it to accept items back. And we should be able to auto-craft ourselves a block really quick and let's test that. Here, Pearl. block. Craft up one. That works. Doesn't, so you need an export. So let's see, what if I... that... That'll work, and then it'll dump and return the end of it. So it's essentially auto-crafted already. Yeah, I think we just put the autocraft recipe in there as I just don't see the point in doing that, because it's not going to recognize, like, the system won't recognize, hey, I can do this to make plates. It's just going to clam up the moment you ask it to do any of that stuff. But we make ourselves another pattern provider. We'll be able to finish up. I think we actually almost have everything. You just need to tell it how to make polytetrafluoroethylene fluid, I believe. I think that's already made. Tractor, we got rubber, polyethylene, and yeah. You do need to tell it how to make the liquid polytetrafluoroethylene, or the item one. So to make scrap one of these. Polyethylene. Go. Now with that and the double plate, we'll have everything ready to craft it and test it out. So get our we got another pattern block. Still waiting on something. What are we waiting on? Oh no, we're waiting on steel. That's not good. That's gonna take a minute. Quite literally a minute. Should actually check the settings downstairs. It is using the HV, so it should be a little bit fat. No, HV is the standard. It is using the 1, or the 2, right? But 2, it is. This feels so long being 30 seconds for each one. But nonetheless, it'll make it up. You do need to set it up so that it will auto-craft that stuff when we need some, but... That's the plate. I'll have that. Let us set that up. Double plate. Inserted. Now the question is, can we make each of those things now? So let's go with Ender. We're missing circuit boards. It looks like the answer is yes. I have been crafting up as many circuit boards as I can get my hands on recently. Those. I guess the question that is, it does have to be... Yeah, we can use the next tier once we get up to that. We'll have to switch everything once we get to the next tier once again, but we can now say craft me one of those. And it does, I do think, yeah, so I don't have enough of the big ones to be able to craft two of them. But with that, I can at least craft, I probably can craft more than one of them in there, but I can't craft them in our little crafter storages. There it goes, and we've got our very first proof of concept that it can do it. It is going to take a while, as it is currently crafting a ton of the stainless steel ingots, so it is going to take a minute. I'll probably have to queue up a bunch of those to be crafted later, as the stainless steel constantly getting run out of. I don't mind letting it sit in a queue and just be like, hey, like, let's sit and craft that stuff while you're walking around doing other stuff. Now I could build out corridors so that I can start moving some of the newer machines over there and powering them through fluid transfers through the ender ducts as we get more fuel sources. And maybe we can actually start doing EV over on the other side of the void. But thank you guys here for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!